I'm Brian Sitzer. I'm a commercial airline pilot with over 8,000 hours of flight experience, and I have a background in education. I hold master's degrees and doctorates in the educational field, and I'm a specialist in curriculum development. I was actually chosen by the FAA to create this material to help you avoid fines and jail time. Some of the areas where people get into a little bit of trouble with their drone is careless and reckless operations. A good friend of mine, a contact that I'd made at the FAA, called me up and said, "Hey, we have an issue in your hometown, San Diego, where pilots are flying drones, buying them and flying them all over the place, and violating rules." And the FAA, they're not like a local police agency. They're a small operation, and they don't have a lot of resources to go around and write people tickets. So they said, hey, rather than just us trying to police these infractions and violations, why don't we get instructors like you involved in teaching people to do things right from the get-go so they don't make the mistakes that we're seeing on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. So knowing that I had a doctorate in education, was a commercial airline transport pilot, and a certified flight instructor, they asked me to see if I could tackle the problem. So I got certified, went through training, learned to operate drones, and then started offering up my services as a consultant. So there's very few people that can create and deliver the curriculum that's needed to help the FAA fulfill their mission of very few incidents and accidents with drones in the national airspace system that also have the flying background. You know, I speak aviation, I speak business. Just because you are a hobbyist, just because you bought this really amazing piece of equipment at Costco or Fry's or wherever you got it, doesn't necessarily mean you know everything you need to know about it. You might know the machine, you might know how to operate it safely, but the national airspace system is something that has always been, historically been, reserved for professionals. So as soon as you take off, you are subjected to a plethora of rules that you know nothing about, that doesn't come in your instruction manual and is not necessarily available online. So just because you're ignorant of the rules doesn't mean you're not responsible for following them. Yeah. So a violation of any rule that's in the Code of Federal Regulations, what we call the Federal Aviation Regulations Part 107, will result in an $1,100 fine if the FAA deems you to be responsible for that offense. So to avoid these pitfalls and others, click below at some of these other resources that we have available for you.